If you noticed, I will make a short video on this and I'll share it with everybody. If you noticed, the 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 mornings, um, today's morning's notes. First thing I said, Nasdaq is facing support at current price. It was here. You see this? I said ES is facing support right here at the bottom, and I mentioned the price. You see it right here at the bottom. YM, I did not even say support. I said possible long. It means the support is there. I did not call a long on. I wasn't about to call a long on YM or Nasdaq. Sorry, on ES or Nasdaq, but YM I said possible long. By the time I got set up, see it jumped. Okay. Let me give you an idea of how important it is to use this methodology, to use the volume profile, to use Sierra chart, because there's an indicator that's not available. You cannot have it uh, uh, unless you have Sierra charts, and that is SAL indicator. None of the other platforms is designed to read historic market depth. Focus on the word historic, and also, it's not. Most of the charts will freeze on you if you open couple of. Most of the platforms will freeze on you if you just open a couple of charts with volume profile with a few months back of data. This one I have multiple charts, but let's see some of the reasons why I realized that we had support on the indices, including Nasdaq, YM, and ES. Let me just show it. This is the Nasdaq, correct? Nasdaq, I called it short yesterday from the very top. We got about combined about 1,000 ticks. First target was about 80 ticks, and then we ran it for. My goal was to get 1,300 ticks on yesterday's move, and then wait for a retracement, etc. But it went more beyond my expectation. And anyway, we got 1,000 ticks on the Nasdaq yesterday, and I'm expecting it to come back down lower. We have a very demanding level here, which is the SAL indicator. How did I, realize there's a support this morning? How did I do that? So look at the volume profile. Volume profile is key to understanding the moves. Look how it tried to poke this level and it's poking back out. It's poking back out. And it's simple. If you add some other indicators to it, let's say you're using Elliott waves, you're using any kind of indicators that you have. A lot of people use different indicators, but if you line up, sometimes I use Fibonacci. Look at this Fibonacci. I'm lining my Fibonacci from the bottom to the top to see the resistance. You see there was a resistance area right here. Sorry, support area right here. It's a 38%. Combined with volume profile, it told me if there is support. So if I'm short, I would rather exit. And if I'm thinking to go short, I would rather not to. I would wait for a complete retracement. Or if I'm long, I have to anticipate the long and I have to find a stop loss. Same thing, exact same thing happened with the ES. That's why I said we have support. Same thing, exact same thing happened with the ES. Look at that. By the way, ES, I did not, like I mentioned ES, if you want to go short yesterday, I gave you the stop loss exactly, and it actually held up beautifully. ES went massively too from yesterday's move. Yesterday was short, and we continue to short, but we have support. Look at ES. Okay, we have demanding level here, and we might see it later, and see it just shifted here. So we have a lot of pressure to bring the market down. Now, YM, you notice YM, I said possible long on the YM. And if I'm looking at the YM, exact same thing. We have a level. This is a 78% retracement from the very bottom on the daily. But what made me like the YM more is I went and I looked at the CFD contract. If you're an American, you cannot trade it, but at least you can have it plotted. You can plot it, you can watch it. You don't have to trade it. You can trade YM in the futures market. You can trade anything right related to it in terms of option or stocks, ETFs. But use US 30, which is equivalent to the YM, but it's in the CFDs market. I can trade it. I'm a Canadian. Europeans can trade it. Anybody in anywhere in the world you can trade it, except for Americans. It's not allowed yet. But To use it, look what happened. I'm looking at the US 30. Do you see what happened here? At the very bottom, this sell indicator popped up. This is what told me there's a long possible coming. I was setting up my chart, and I think I could not even call it because it went fast. But something like this, if you have it and if you set it up, right, the stop loss will be below it. Of course, if I had called it, the stop loss would be just below this magenta line. There are rules to use it, and I can show you how to use it if you remember. We have a lot of videos on that too in the members area. But idea is just this indicator alone, just using it according to what I'm showing or according to how I use it, it's enough to cover your investment with us. Just this alone, just this indicator alone, it's so amazing. If you use it once a month, it'll give you beautiful results. It doesn't happen often. It's not like every minute because CFDs will show just one level, and when that matches, it's amazing. Yesterday, I called a trade on the nat gas. You noticed it went, I think, 50 60 ticks in favor. But then it went back and took the runner out. We had a good move. It was a nice trade. It was exactly the same idea. Nat gas in the futures market. Look where it is. It's at the very bottom. It's about to reverse, right? But in the spot market, which is the CFD, we had this magenta line showing up. It's still showing up. So we have nat gas reports now. So we might we might wait until the nat gas report in an hour or so, or 2 hours, or something like that, right? But we have this magenta line SAL indicator showing up. This gives us a huge advantage over other traders. Any questions? Roberto asking, only prominent volume levels are considered by you. Uh, um, I'm a very specific and careful trader. I like longer term. All the levels are considered, and I can show you. If you're a scalper, you can use the small levels, yes. But for me, as I mentioned, if I look at every single level and I type it for members and I try and scalp it with members, I'm going to be missing a lot of entries, and I'm going to be giving them trades that, by the time they get it, it's too late. So yeah, for me to teach or to be successful with my members, only prominent levels, only setups that are um, considered safe. Yesterday, if you notice, somebody asked me, and the elite members asked me about gold, Dimitar. He said, "What do you think of gold?" I told him, "Gold I will skip, but it's a 60% opportunity only." And I gave him the entry areas and the stop loss. And it actually, gold went up exactly according to what I anticipated. But 60% is not enough for me. So for me to get something stronger in terms of calling a trade, it has to be a little bit more. So yes, prominent levels by me, and I am a patient person, patient trader, so I'll wait. But if you like to trade more, again, the methodology will teach you, and I will teach you how to use every single level, every single uh, um, scalp, how to catch it, how to capitalize on it, etc. Good question. Thank you. Also, for me to catch 1,000 tick trade, I would wait 2 3 days. I don't have a problem with it. Rather than having 10 trades in these 2 3 4 days and only get maybe if I'm lucky get 100 ticks after losing 4 5 and gaining 6 7 and all the headaches, etc. So that's my philosophy. Also, I also trade spot and CFDs. So sometimes, for example, this swing short on the indices, I'm in it in my using my CFDs. They don't roll over. I mean, my forex, it doesn't roll over, it doesn't expire, so I can leave it until it matures, and it's a very long-term trade, just like investment style trading. The idea also with NG, Nat Gas, look at this. Nat Gas, I have the futures side, which we rolled over to March. We have demand here. Look at this. This is a big demand, and this is a big move. But if you look at the Nat Gas spot, as I mentioned, even if you cannot trade futures. Sorry, you cannot trade CFDs, or um, you can at least look at the charts, right? And look at the demand here. Look at that, right? Look at nat gas. Look at the sal indicator that's showing support on the CFD side.